it's always an apprehensive, I'm not going to say I'm nervous, but I'm apprehensive when dealing with government authorities. You never know what could go wrong. Well, I think what we wanted to do, Sandy, is talk about how we plan our shifts. So like what a shift is and how you and I do these longer passages.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. So you've just been through weather routing and we generally sit down together and look at that. I know you've just done a quick video for us. And also then you plan the route so we know which way we're going and how long roughly it's going to take us.
But what we've got here, I'll explain a couple of things. So these are the models here. We find in Europe waters, the European model, which is the ECMWF, is the best model. So there's other options. You can compare different models, but let's just go with that. We're down roughly where that white dot is, and we're going up to roughly where my arrow is there. And this is real time. So what we'll just have a look at, this is what got us to choose this weather window in particular. So we're talking about starting at 6 a.m. You can see it's nice and clear, just very calm. There's no sailing ability. The wind's just going to be either on our nose or no wind. But no wind in this case is better than 10 knots on our nose. So you can see it just starts to get a little bit windy, 9 knots on the nose. We might have to bear off a little bit for that. That's in the middle of the night. And then if I keep going, you will see that just fades away, giving us a nice clean run. That's 24-hour mark. It'll take us around about 30 hours. So perhaps another 6 hours on top of that. And you can see we should sneak in there before that rest of the wind hits us from any wrong direction. So we'll definitely be in there by 5 o'clock. So we think it's a good weather window. If you see the next day, we've got a lot more wind covering that whole area of the sea there, which is, again, it's not very windy, but it's windy enough to not be as good. The darker colours are more windy. So that's now 20 knots in there. So we want to avoid those when the wind's against you. When it's in your direction, they're good things, but when it's against you, that's not good. They also, the higher the wind, the higher the waves. So we look at that kind of thing. We look at the height of the waves, the direction of current, all sorts of stuff. But generally speaking, when there's not a lot of wind, which is they're not going to be in the next 24 hours, that will do for us for a weather window. So now that we've got our weather window, we need to know the course that we're going to take. Now it's pretty straightforward, you would think, but it's always nice to have a route. We like to have a route that's mapped out for us. We use a B&G chart plotter, and we're using CMaps as the underlying program on that. I know a lot of people have got opinions in terms of what's the best charting, but this is what we use. It's very difficult to see it cluttered, but this is where we are now, where our little boat is. And these little lines are the Albanian territorial waters. So we've done a course that's going to take us sort of over towards, this is Italy over here. We're going to head off towards Italy into no man's land or the international shipping waters in the middle. And then from there, we're going to make sure that we keep out of the 12-mile limit, which is the Albanian waters. But if we go within that, we've been told that we'll probably get approached by their Coast Guard and told to either bugger off or come in and check in. So we don't want that. And we're going straight up to Bar. So it's a straight shot. Once we get to the middle of the channel between Albania and Italy, it's just a straight shot pretty much north into where do we get to Bar. Now the whole thing, I put the waypoints in, the whole thing, it's our route. So from Erakusa to Bar, and it's going to take about 147.4 miles. So we're hopeful. We always aim at trying to get better than 5 miles per hour. Given that we're going to be motoring and that the wind's going to be slightly against us, I would be very happy just to average 5 miles over the whole course. So that should roughly be around about 24 hours plus another 5 hours on top of that. So around about the 29, 30 hours, and we should be there.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've done an overnight shift.
Yeah,
so
we're out of practice. We're rusty.
we are a bit rusty. It's been over 12 months.
Apprehensive, not nervous, but apprehensive about how it's going to go.
Well, we always do like to plan, and I think both of us, that's a strong point of ours, is we like to plan. We like to make sure that we've got enough provisions on board. You know, we've got food, we've got water, and then we start to plan out, you know, what time we're going to have meals. And we also then plan our shifts as well. So we want to make sure that we both are really well rested. And I guess when we first started cruising, one of the downfalls was that Scott was doing the heavy lifting as far as the sailing was concerned. So he was always on shift and really didn't get some downtime, which means that, you know, in an event of a crisis, sometimes a skipper could make a wrong decision if they're overtired. So we recognised that fairly early and started to play around with some shifts. So we have talked about shifts before, and we have trialled 3 and 4 hours shifts, but what works for us is 6 hours. So
yeah. I mean, the auto helm's on all the time. If the auto helm wasn't working, then they would have to be much shorter shifts. But as it is, you're setting a course and you're just managing the sails. And so we find 6 hour shifts work really well. They sound really long, and other cruisers we tell about, they go, well, that's just crazy. But it really gives you the opportunity, especially during the night, to have a good solid 5 hours of sleep. And we find that can really sustain you, right, Sandy?
Yeah, it's a game changer for us, I think, Scott. It's something that we, as I said, we played around with for quite some time, and I feel much better and much more able to, you know, make good decisions after 5 hours sleep. So because you're eating the other half hour, you're sort of eating, getting to sleep, having a shower, all those things. So
yeah, and we generally always set the alarm to wake up at least 10 minutes before your shift starts, so that you can be dressed, ready to go. You definitely don't want to be waking up when your shift is ready to start and the person's just, you know, eyes are hanging out of their head. Definitely. So you want to make sure that you're up and about and ready to go, and then as soon as it's handover, it's handover.
Yeah, so that works for us. So tomorrow we'll take off at 6 a.m. and Scott, you'll be doing the first 6 hours. I'll take over the afternoon shift, and then we'll cycle through. So we should be getting in on Scott's shift. I think that's the plan at the moment.
We should be getting in before midday on Tuesday. So I'll do that again. I'll take over at 6 a.m. So Sandy gets the graveyard shift. And now I don't pick on her. She likes to do the graveyard shift.
I do like to do the graveyard shift.
It's nice and quiet. She can be all by herself and look at the stars. It is gorgeous out there. And there'll be lots of ships, and whether they're cruise ships or container ships, that will be in this channel. So it'll be, I think, an exciting night. Hopefully not too exciting, and hopefully relatively calm, so that we can just be, we know we're going to be motoring, more motor sailing. Not much should happen.
And I think, you know, with the amount of boats that we've seen coming this direction just today, we're in a little bay off an island at the top of Corfu.
Yeah, Erakusa.
And thanks, Scott. And there is a town just in the next bay, but we've decided that we'd prefer to anchor in the bay, away from the town, get a really good night's sleep tonight, anchor up at 6 a.m. and take off, and not worry about having too many boats around us to try and navigate through, you know, in that early morning. So yeah we're very excited.
And one of the other
passage.
Absolutely we are. And one of the other technical aspects about shift planning is that we use a thing called ship's time. Now, not far out, as soon as we leave Greece's territorial waters, which is not too long away from this island, it all of a sudden goes to a different time zone. So we lose an hour. But we've decided we just stay with the ship's time. So we're going to stay with effectively Greece's time the whole time for our shifts. We recognise that reality goes on around us, but in terms of when the 6 hours is, it's not based on midday, based on our updated watches and clocks and phones. It's more around the ship's time, and that's the way that we like to do it. It not very problematic when there's just 1 hour difference and we're only crossing one time zone, but when we did the Indian Ocean passage, there was many time zones that we crossed, and we just needed to align with that better than just trying to keep with the local time.
Because again, you either have to do an extra hour or you don't get that extra hour sleep, and that can really, make an impact on the whole voyage. So we just stick to ship's time, and when we get to the destination, we'll jump onto their time.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to setting off tomorrow.
And we're going to share all that with you. So
Absolutely.
Come along for the ride.
Not the whole 30 hours, I promise.
No. So we're off to do our messages today. Sea Moon's just behind us. We've just parked dark side down here.
And today we also need to check out of Greece. It's always an apprehensive, I'm not going to say I'm nervous, but I'm apprehensive when dealing with government authorities. You never know what could go wrong. I mean, we always feel like we're guests in someone's country and we comply with whatever they want us to comply with. But it felt to me, I was saying to Sandy this morning, it felt to me like we're at someone's house and we're going to say goodbye, and they could turn around and say, you're not going anywhere until you've done the dishes and mowed the lawn. It's like, you don't know. You're in their house, you have to do whatever they say.
Yeah.
In some ways it'd be nice just to be able to sneak out, but that's not the way boating works. You can, within the Schengen area, you don't need to tell any authority in a Schengen country if you're leaving and going to another Schengen country. You just go. But with a boat, we need to do all the proper things so that we've got the exit paperwork, all that sort of stuff. That's part of maritime law and not just immigration law. So it makes it a little bit more apprehensive, but we'll see.
Well, here we are. We've just finished at the Port Police.
It's super, super hot. That's why we're in the shade and we're a little bit dark. Well, it was a successful mission to check out of Greece, and to be honest, everyone was super friendly.
They were.
We went to our hosts and we said goodbye, thank you very much for having us, and they said we'd love to see you again. So really, really easy process. A bit of a walk between buildings, but nothing untoward. So
no, we've greeted with happy and open arms and smiles, and thanks for coming. And we'll see you next time.
We've checked out of Greece and we've checked out of the EU now, effectively. So the next country we go into is Montenegro, or Albania if we need to go into Albania for any reason, which is outside of the EU and the Schengen area, which means we need passport control to enter there. So we had to actually check out of the EU. So we're free and easy, ready to go, and they're very casual here. Lots of cruise ships and other boats to worry about from a customs and immigration perspective. So for us, we're small fry, and we didn't even get a warning to leave the country, but we will be leaving tomorrow. Wonderful. Thank you, Greece. Our hearts are full. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We left around about 10:30. But we've done all of our messages. We're just saying we've checked out of Greece, we've had a Corfu beer, we've done some more shopping, got some protein powder. I think it's hot as Hades here. You can say that in Greece because it's kind of like a Greek mythology. So we're ready to go back to the boat for a swim, I would imagine. What do you reckon, Sandy?
Absolutely. It's got to be, 34 now. Really hot.
But it feels like 34.
It does. Probably feels worse than that. So really good day. We've checked out, done all the little bits and pieces that we needed to do, and we're ready to go tomorrow morning.
We've probably walked about, I would suggest, in the vicinity of 7 kilometres, and we've probably got 10 kilometres by the time we get back to the boat. So we've got some exercise in today as well.
Which is always a good thing on the boat, just to get your legs moving, and especially when you know you're going to be in passage for the next few days. Making sure that we get those exercise goals in early, I guess, is a good thing.
Maybe not during the heat of the day like we have today, but it is a Saturday, so we can just take it a bit easy. And we're off. Hi, well, I've just finished my first shift, which was from 6 a.m. to midday. Did just over 30 miles, so an average of 5.2 miles per hour, and we used around about 28 litres of fuel, so that's spot on. We expect to use 1 litre of fuel per mile, effectively. We also about an hour and a half ago went through the 120 miles to go barrier, which if we maintain a 5-knot average means that 24 hours to go. So we should be in at this stage. Everything's going well. There's no wind. I'll pan around and show you at the moment. We're just motor sailing. We've got the main up, but which might give us a few extra points of a knot. Otherwise, it's just the motors doing all the work today, and certainly that's what we're expecting in the next 24 hours. So yeah, we hopefully will be into Montenegro at this stage around about ship's time 11 a.m. But that will, because there's a time zone difference, that'll be like 10 a.m. So we've got a little bit of flex up our. It's very, very hot, and just as I say, just a very calm breeze. A little bit swelly, not too bad at all. I'll just pan around. There you go, no real traffic to report on, no boats coming with us. There was 2 boats that left the anchorage before us. They were obviously going to Italy, so it's pretty exciting to be here, thinking historically what it would have been like for, you know, the Venetian Empire to start its way from, you know, somewhere like Corfu, one of their strongholds and bastions, all the way to Venice, you know, which is a long way in this beautiful Adriatic coast. Anyway, that's all from me. I think Sandy's going to check in after her next shift.
Hi everyone. Well, it's 6 p.m. and I've just come off my shift. We're about to have dinner, just a quick chicken and salad tonight. It's still quite warm out here. It's about 27 degrees. So for my 6-hour shift, I have done 35 nautical miles, so pretty good actually. Averaging just over those 5 nautical miles is always good. And that's per hour. And 26 litres of fuel used, so I was able to dial that back, and I did manage to get the Jenny out for a little while, but yeah, the wind angle is not great. So we are sailing now in the Adriatic Sea, which is pretty cool. Can't really see land on either side, but we do know Italy is off to our port side, and on our starboard side is Albania. So I think we've got about 80 nautical miles to go, so we're still on target to get to Montenegro tomorrow around lunchtime. So I am off for a quick shower and to try and get a little bit of sleep before I'm back up at midnight. We'll keep you updated how we go. Bye. Well, hello, welcome to the midnight shift. I've just got up and Scott's just popped off to bed. You can see we've got a beautiful big bright moon behind me. I've got about 48 nautical miles to go, so yeah, hopefully by the time Scott gets up in 6 hours time, we should be about 20 miles out. So yeah, we are on time to get to bar as predicted around lunchtime. So let's hope we have a good night's sail. We can't really see much. There's a bit of a town. There's some lights just over here. There's a town, but that's Albania. But besides that, we can't really see much at all. We are motor sailing still. I'm not sure if you can see the sail in this light, but yeah. It's a beautiful night tonight. Yeah, nice and warm still, so we will see you in the morning. Good morning. So it's 4 a.m. And we've got 26 nautical miles to go. I've just slowed the boat down to around 5 knots, because otherwise we're going to get there way too early. So we don't want to arrive until around 9ish at the moment. Scott will be up in 2 hours and we'll probably only have 15 miles to go, so that will give him maybe 3 hours or 2.5 hours before we get in, so 8:30, 9 o'clock at this stage. So I have managed just to put out the head sail, and it's so I've just pulled back the motors a little bit to save on some petrol, and just doing a little bit of motor sailing, but not as aggressive as we have been, so just pulling that back just a little bit. The moon is beautiful over my shoulder here. Haven't seen much traffic at all. There's a few fishing boats around I can see with AIS on, but nothing in our path. So yeah, it's been a really quiet night. Just watched a couple of movies on Netflix, and that's been it. So we'll see how we go for the next couple of hours.
But we survived the night after 24 hours of motor sailing, the last 8 of that into up to 10 to 12 knot headwind, which was noisy and choppy with just one motor going. Finally getting the last 20 miles under sail, and I've got to tell you, I forgot how beautiful it is just sailing here after that long of motor sailing. So yeah, we're cruising along. The sun just coming up. I've got our quarantine and courtesy flags up already because we're in Montenegro waters, and we do the right thing. The quarantine flag just lets the port officials know that we haven't cleared into the country as yet. I'm seeing the coastline of Montenegro. It's only about 15 miles distance, and it won't be too long before we're checking into Montenegro. I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty, apart from the noise of the motors, it's been a pretty painless event. I didn't sleep that well last shift, but Sandy's done a great job. Anyway, good morning. Well, we're just about to enter the beautiful port of Bar. When I say beautiful, like you probably can't see too well, but there's massive mountains and cliffs, and apparently it's quite an industrial town, but it looks beautiful anyway. Only small problem after this whole journey, we have a cruise ship coming in, and we don't know what that means for us, but it might mean a significant delay in check-in into Bar, which is fine. We're just planning on being here today in the marina, getting a SIM card, and we'll film that as we go. Hey there, well, Sandy has set up the fenders on the port side. We have the cruise ship out there, which is going to cut in front of us whether we like it or not, which is fine. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit while he does his thing. I'm about to drop the sail. Probably don't even need to turn around to do that, so I will do that right now.
So we're back on board now, and we've been to the port police here, who are very friendly, and they
very friendly.
stamped us in.
You just need to show a little bit of respect, a lot of bit of respect actually. And it goes a long, long way, right?
Absolutely.
Just, yes, sir, whatever you want, and give them the documentation that they need when they ask for it, and it makes their life easier. We went around to the port police.
No, so that was port police first, then we went around to the port harbour master.
Yeah.
And the lovely ladies there served us really well, took all our documentation.
Paid them some money.
Yep,
and
paid them
for the vignette for 1 month, because that was 1 week.
For our size boat.
Yeah, for us it was pretty good. It was cheaper to do 1 month than 2 weeks. So we just did a month, even though we're planning on only being here for 2 weeks. But we're in the country, babe.
We're in the country. Join us next week as we hire a car and drive inland in Montenegro and check out the sights that we normally can't see from a boat. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for sailing with us.